there, this is Ms. Jackson for Concord Career College, and I'm going over several examples for homework 9 that's in Canvas. So hopefully you can actually see this problem right here, and it's quite a lot. But one of the things that you should pop out to you is the word synthetic division, and what that is very similar to is like long division right here. Notice how you also have the word remainder. So let's break this down. What they want you to do is actually divide everything, which are these right here, notice the numbers, by 4. So once again, they want you to divide everything by 4. So let's start off doing it one way so you can have a better understanding. So it's very similar to long division. So notice you're going to divide by 4. And I'm going to set up a little thingamajigger like we normally do when we divide. And I'm only looking at the coefficients. So now we got 9, negative 39, negative 6, and then negative 2. So notice how I'm doing all the coefficients, and we're going to divide it by 4. So let's take a better look at that. And my apologies that it's not closed caption. And we're going to do a lot of zooming in and out. Okay. So for right now, you have no clue what that is, but I wrote it a little bit differently. So this is what we had at first. We're going to divide everything by 4. So notice how these, once again, are your coefficients. So the first thing I did, I brought that 9 down, so it goes directly down. 4 times 9 gives you 36. So notice how I put 36 right here. If we're combining like terms, negative 39 plus 36 gives you negative 3. So that's what's going on right there. Now we're going to multiply 4 times negative 3, which gives you negative 12. So combine with the negative 6. Remember, the negative 6 was your coefficient. So negative 6 times negative 12 gives you negative 18. Now multiply 4 times negative 18. That gives you negative 72. So now we have negative 2 combined with negative 72, we have negative 74. Well, I'm circling that 74 because remember, 2 was the last term in that initial equation. So right here, this is your remainder. So voila, you have your answer. You can't see that little scribble scrabble right there, but the word is actually remainder. And for those who don't remember exactly what we did, the initial equation was 9x cubed. Was it 9x cubed? Let's see. Yeah. It wasn't even x was in, so my apologies. So it was 9n cubed minus 39n squared minus 6n minus 2. So I'm just rewriting the initial equation so you can see where those come from. Well, there's more dealing with synthetic division. So again, I'm trying to zoom in and out so you can see everything, so thank you for your patience. So here's your next one. So again, you see the synthetic division, and it wants to divide everything by that. Now what I mean by that is x minus 5. Notice unlike the first example, you have an entire expression given to you. So using long division, you got to be careful on how you're doing that. So I'm going to show you same thing again. So notice how you got the 5. Notice how you got your coefficients. So if I was to divide that using long division, that'd be 5 can go into 1, negative 4, negative 77, and then 360. So let's get into more details about that. So here we go. Again, got to zoom in and out. So I'm trying to cover it up so you won't get too confused. So here's what we actually had written out. Notice your division. I'm going to bring down that 1. So now I got 5 times 1 gives you 5. Combining like terms, negative 4 plus 5 gives you positive 1. 5 times 1 gives you 5. Still combining your like terms, so negative 77 plus 5 gives you negative 72. 5 times negative 72 gives you negative 360. So notice right here, you do not have a remainder, so it's 0. Well, since that's the case, we're going to rewrite using those coefficients. So, to make it a little bit easier, notice how we started off with x cubed minus 4x squared minus 77x plus 360. So that's what the initial equation was. So now that we have factored out one of those exponents, this is how we're going to rewrite it now. So you're going to rewrite with x squared plus x minus 72. Now you remember from Module 6 there was a factor table provided for you. So we're going to factor this trinomial into a binomial. Factor that trinomial into a binomial. Okay. So remember, this part right here, you don't know where we got it from. Well, actually you do. That was from the actual problem, x minus 5. So I'll put that out there. But now we got to figure out where in the world did I get the 9 and the 8 from. So let me show you. I know that 72 can be factored. So we're looking at a number that can give you negative 72 as a product, meaning multiplication, and positive 1 as a sum. So we got 1 and 72 as factors. What else do we have? Factors 72. 72 and got 2 and 36. Then what else we have? So I'm just doing each and every number. 3 and 24. So my apologies if you hear the clicking of the calculator going on. So now you have 4 and 18. Next we got 6 and 12. So I'm going to keep going and going and going until I actually can find something that can give me that 1 if I add and subtract it. So that would be your sum. Then I got 8 and 9. So I'm going to start right here. Because if I do 9 minus 8, that can give me 1. So it's this one. So notice up here, your middle term is positive. Therefore, out of those two greater terms, so let me rewrite it again. I know I have two x's. So here goes my first x, here goes my next x. We already said that it's going to be 9 and 8. My middle term is positive, so your middle term always takes the sign of the bigger number, so that would be plus. Notice how that's negative, so that's negative. So your overall answer is what you see in blue right here. The x plus 9 times x minus 8 and the x minus 5. That part right here is already given to you, and this part right here is what we just discovered. But wait, there's more. Ooh, yeah. So once again, we have more synthetic division. Notice how they saved the hardest one for last. So here we go. We have everything else given to you. So notice right here, we're going to divide everything by 1 into those coefficients. So let me start you off first so we have a better understanding. So long division, there's the 1, because that's coming from that right here. You remember long division, try to next look, I can stand it. You might be the same way. So now coefficients, we got 1, negative 3, negative 9, and negative 5. So let's figure out how in the world they got that. So let me maximize it so you can see it. So all these are coming from my coefficients. So here we go once again. Now you may notice that each time we're doing this, we actually bring down that first one. So I'm going to bring it down. Negative 1 times 1 gives you negative 1. So that's where that 1 came from. Combining like terms, negative 3 plus negative 1 gives you negative 4. Negative 1 times negative 4 gives you positive 4. Combining like terms, negative 9 plus 4 gives you negative 5. Negative 1 times negative 5. Remember, two negatives give you positive, gives you 5. So there's no remainder right here. So I'm going to rewrite this part right here which is your x squared minus 4x minus 5. This part right here came from the initial problem. That was actually in the problem given to you. Now we're going to factor this out. So we know that 5 is a prime number, so it only has two factors, one in itself. Notice how your middle term is negative, so therefore you're going to have x minus 5 and x plus 1. Well, notice you have two x plus 1s. So the way that you're going to rewrite that is x plus 1 squared, I didn't finish talking to y'all, then x minus 5. I strongly suggest that you actually pause the video and try to look at this one again, because again, we're going to have more and more synthetic division. In the meantime, we're going to move on to number 4. Whoopee! One of the ones we got to read. So here's your actual equation right there. You got x cubed minus 4x squared minus 7x plus 10. What they want you to do is use the rational root theorem and the factor theorem to help solve that. Well, the easiest way to do that, again, is going to be synthetic division. But look at your leading term. Here's what I mean by your leading term. Notice that your highest exponent out all of this is 3. So since 3 is your degree, so off to the side, the degree is your highest exponent or your largest exponent. You already know that you're going to have 3 possible solutions. That means 3 answers out. You already know what the answers are because you got -2, 1, and 5. So you already have that. So let me zoom out so you can see what I wrote. So you can't see it. So if you remember, 3 was your highest exponent, therefore it determines your degree. Because your degree was 3, you're going to have 3 possible answers. Those answers are -2, 1, and 5. Well, let's figure out how we did that. So, this is number 4 for us. So, same thing. Here's the actual equation, the number of solutions. Now that 1 and positive 10 is looking at your first term and your last term. So we're looking at the factors of the first term and last term. Well, since 1 is the first number when you ever count, I'm going to do synthetic division for everything. Because that's the 1 is the coefficient. So, also 1 and 10 are also factors of each other. So bring this down. 1, -4, -7, and 10. There we go right there. Bring down your 1. 1 times 1 is 1. -4 plus 1 is -3. 1 times -3 is -3. Combining like terms, we have -10. Therefore, this is a factor. So notice that what type of 1 it was. It was a positive 1. Therefore, we got x plus 1. We're going to rewrite this as x squared -3x minus 10. And thinking about your factors of 10. What gives you 10? 1 and 10, 5 and 2. So we're looking for what can give you a product of 10, but if you add and subtract, it gives you 3. Therefore, you got the 5 and 2. So now, your middle term goes with your largest term. So you're going to have x minus 1, x minus 5, and x plus 2. So when we do that, notice how your answers were given to you as factors. You're going to have x minus 1 equals 0, because the entire equation way up here equals 0. X minus 5 equals 0, and then x plus 2 equals 0. If you solve for x, we know that x was 1, x was 5, and x was -2. So that's what we got for our initial equation. Again, please feel free to pause the video so you can go back and look at it, because we have more to come. Here's another one. So I'm going to zoom in so you can see it. So take a moment to actually look at that one, because yeah, that's something else. Notice how you have x to the fourth power, and all this time we've been using x to the second power. So we're going to have to do several different things on that. Now, one of the things you want to do, you want to substitute some of your values. And if you pay close attention, let me zoom out, or scoot it over, you're going to have 4 answers. Now, the reasons why you're going to have 4 answers is because you actually had 4. All that noise in the background, my bad. Because your exponent is 4. So let me scoot it over again. So your highest exponent is 4, therefore your degree is 4, therefore you're going to have 4 answers. But let's figure out what in the world is going on. Okay, so this is going to take a minute. So what's given to us is x to the 4th power plus x cubed minus 3x squared minus 17x minus 30. Everybody get it so far? Great. That was wonderful. I'm so proud of you. And I went blank. Why did I go blank now? I know why I went blank. I had a serious mistake in here and didn't realize it. Ladies, gents, individuals, my apologies. I am human. But this is not even part of your homework, y'all. So completely ignore me. So, oops. That's in your favor, though, because we won't be here all day on that problem. But we will be on several of these right here. Yay! Graphing! So again, I'm human. I make mistakes. It's a good thing that this is, on the video, because if it was live, I definitely have been confused. You can just skip that one completely. And I can't edit this video. But anyway, my apologies for the inconvenience. So right here, we're going to look at the next example. We're just going to graph it. So here's your graph right here. Let me show you how to graph in the calculator. And this is something very similar to what we did in Module 6, in Module 7, and Module 8. So here's your calculator. Make sure you write this out right here, including the parentheses. So I'm going to zoom out so you can see everything that I'm hitting. And it's a glare, so you really can't see it. So the first thing I'm going to do is hit the Y equal key. So that's this key right here where my finger's over. Let me hit it. It might be something in there, so hit clear. So clear was right here, directly under the bottom arrow key. Now I'm going to type it as I see it. So that's going to be open parentheses, x minus 2, close parentheses, open parentheses again, x plus 1, close parentheses, then open parentheses again, x plus 3. I didn't do that, I did that. So, nope, don't do what I did. Now, x plus 3, close parentheses, hit enter to lock it in. Now, graph. Now, my graph is going to be a little different than what you might have. So, I'm going to show you several different ways to do it. So, I'm going to do zoom standard. So, let me back up. Hit your zoom key, go down to zoom standard, and there you go. So, according to how this curvature is, we know it can't be, again, let's look at it. Can't be these two. And the reason why it can't be these right here is because those are kind of narrow. So now we're left with these two. Notice how it's going left and right, up and down. So that's why your answer is going to be this one. We're going to do another example dealing with graphing. So let me zoom in. Well, you know it's going to be a parabola because you have something squared. So write that down real quick so we can put it in the calculator. So what we're going to do, hit clear in your calculator. You're going to hit the Y equal key. Clear that out. Now we're going to put the negative, not minus, negative x. Again, hopefully y'all can see my finger. Here goes x. And then we're going to square it, which is right here. And type the rest as you see. So open parentheses, x minus 4, close your parentheses. Then we got x plus 4, close your parentheses. Hit enter to lock it in. Go to zoom standard. And there you go. Now here's the problem with this. You really can't see that. So what we're going to do, we're looking at those numbers right there. And I'm looking at the graphs. I see a 50 and a 100. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to go to Windows. Look at your X. So I'm getting Windows. Go down to your Y minimum. We're going to make it look just like what the paper has. So we're going to make that Y minimum negative 100. Then we're going to make that Y maximum positive 100. Again, I'm going by what's on the paper. Lock it in. Now hit graph. So let me show you what I did again. Hit Y equal key. There's your information. Go to Windows. And I'm looking at my x-axis and my y-axis. So if you look at your x-axis for each problem, you got negative 10 and 10. Then if you look at your y-axis, you got 100 and negative 100. So when I hit Windows, I made sure that my minimum for my x and my max for x-axis was negative 10 and 10. Then I changed my y. I made sure my minimum was 100 and my max was 100. Now hit graph. Looks like you got an M. Almost looks like the neck is fresh a little bit. So, you know it cannot be the first two on the left-hand side because those are going upward. And you know it can't be this one because notice how your humps are above the x-axis. Therefore, you have this. You have several more examples that you're going to put in the same way. So be careful with those. And that was it, because the rest of these are all dealing with graphs. And I'm looking at the time on the video because the longer the videos, the more gigabytes it has. So make sure you use your calculator. Also, feel free to email me or use the Remind app for about any questions on homework 9. So sorry for the inconvenience, but this is it for homework 9 for Math 1320.